Today on 21st Century Business, explore state-of-the-art technology, innovative business strategies, insights from cutting-edge corporations around the globe, a visionary look into the answers of tomorrow, today. Business leaders, business solutions, 21st Century Business.
Welcome to 21st Century Business. I'm Jackie Bales. Accurate, dependable communication is critical to any organization. One company is committed to being a single source provider of unified communications and communications infrastructure solutions. Gary Luffman, CEO of Hiscall, joins us to discuss this further. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you for having me, Jackie.
Also joining us is Chuck Culwell, pre-sales technical manager for Hiscall. Welcome to you, Chuck.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Gary, can you give us an example of how important dependable communications are in the aftermath of a disaster or an outage?
Well, at Hiscall, we believe that live communication for any business is critical. It's absolutely critical, and being up fast is just imperative.
Now, Chuck, how quickly can you get technicians and/or parts to a customer?
With a great inventory that we have and the fleet of vehicles, network of business partners, we can have equipment or technicians on a customer site within a few hours.
Let's take a look at Hiscall's technology in this 21st Century Business Field Report.
Disruptions in communications can result in loss of production, loss of revenue, and, for hospitals and nursing homes, loss of life. Hiscall's Emergency Response Operation, or HERO, guarantees that Hiscall's trained emergency response personnel are available 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to help their clients solve any type of communication problem or outage.
We live and die by the phones. The phones have got to work for all sorts of reasons. And there have been times that the phones have gone down, and the Hiscall folks have been very responsive.
They do what they say. You know, that's the highest praise I have for someone that's doing service for me is they don't lie to me, they keep their word.
I definitely look at Hiscall as more of a partner because they're the ones that are not only looking out for our best interests, but are looking ahead for us. And what's the new technology out there? They know what we're thinking, where we'd like to go in certain projects and initiatives, so they can bring those to us and say, hey, I'm aware you're trying to do this. I have some ideas. That's a partner.
And they've offered us some very good advice over the years that's at times taking us a different direction than we thought we needed to go in, but that has worked out very, very well in the long term. And we've always been very happy with the results.
They give us enough product and new product when it comes out to keep us ahead of the game, and we don't have to buy something every couple of years.
Hiscall provides immediate response with 75 emergency response vehicles, 24-hour service hotline, a staff of 110 certified service technicians, more than $2 million worth of repair parts in stock, and even a company-owned aircraft to deliver technicians and equipment within hours.
So Hiscall has given me the best possible value. Having someone I can talk to, having someone I can trust, those are important things. And so when I did my research, because they're offering this service for a little less than what I was paying before, and the service is better. That makes sense to me.
No matter what time of day or night, Hiscall's clients can count on HERO to keep their communications technology up and running.
Gary, tell us about the history of Hiscall.
Well, years ago, I used to work for AT&T, back when the original AT&T, and the company changed so much. It's a good company, but it changed so much, and I thought we were losing focus on taking care of customer needs. So in 1995, I gave notice, ample notice, and I loved doing what I did, working with the people I did, the customers I worked for. But with the help of my wife, Sarah, we formed Hiscall in December of 1995, and I went into another business so I could make a living for the family, and did this part-time for 4 years. Well, in our early days, I couldn't afford any help, so she would help me, and she's actually a nurse practitioner by profession. And one of those late nights, a lot of people ask me, where'd the name come from? Well, one of those late nights where we're eating Hot Pockets out of hotel or gas stations, and we're really tired, she said, I said, look, we're going to have to come up with a name. We've got our first check. And she said, well, it's going to be, being devout Christian people that we try to be, she said, well, it's going to be His call if we make it. So here we are years later, and we have a wonderful staff now of well over 100 people, over 70 vehicles on our fleet to take care of those customer needs and have that fast response.
Tell me what makes Hiscall different from other companies.
We take communication response to a different level. We're very, very serious about customer needs and keeping them on top of the latest technology, because these are trying times that we're in, especially now, you know, with the economy and different things. And so customers have had to be forced to maybe do cost reductions, unfortunately lay off staff, and we feel like we've got some of those answers to help them with some of the technology that we provide.
Yeah, communications technology is ever-changing, that's for sure. Chuck, how do the employees stay up on all this ever-changing technology?
Well, in the fast-paced environment that we work, it's a constant. Learning is something that we do just nearly every day. We go to manufacturer training when we have the opportunity. Hiscall has been very supportive for our associates to continue their learning as they move throughout their career. We also take advantage of third-party training opportunities, and our distribution channel also offers excellent opportunities for learning through webinars and classroom training. It certainly is a big part of that. We also invest quite a bit of money in to have lab gear so that we can get our hands on the equipment and the technology before we encounter it in a customer environment.
Chuck, tell us a little about the latest in communications technology. You have unified communications, there's SIP, there's VoIP. Kind of makes my head spin personally.
We continue to see customers invest in deployment of SIP trunks.
SIP, okay.
SIP, right. And so by leveraging SIP trunks, they are saving money on deployment of multiple traditional trunking environments. They can extend their reach through SIP trunks and make their communications more resilient with disaster recovery mechanisms through that. Also, another conversation that we're frequently having today is how to incorporate these tablets, the consumerization of IT, I've heard it called, or bring your own device also, but how do we bring smartphones and tablets into the workplace and make that part of the work process and keep our infrastructure secure, recognize them on the network, and grant access to network resources.
Gary, how can Hiscall be so responsive?
Well, when we hire someone, we try to look from the inside out first. Do they really have that genuine caring ability for people? And that's the first step, because we can find people with maybe some good technical skills or good sales skills, but they've got to be able to fit the culture. And that culture that we're trying to drive is, do you really truly care about the customers? That's the first step. Well, after that, then we do go through some of the training processes that Chuck just mentioned, and we try to make sure that our customers our employees are orientated very, very well. They know what we're about, they know what we believe, and how urgent that we feel toward our customers' needs and the communication systems that they have. That coupled with the amount of inventory that we have, it's kind of unheard of in our business because so many companies believe in just-in-time delivery. And I've always had this belief that when a customer has an outage of a telephone system, a camera system for closed-circuit TV, or any of the products that we do, the data systems or whatever, they wanted that technician ready to roll and the part on the way with them at that time. They don't want to wait till tomorrow. They need it now.
Gary, do you have parts or even whole systems in stock then?
Oh yes, yes. We have well over 120,000 different parts, line items, and we have so we keep a large inventory of parts in 2 different locations. Besides the technicians that work there, all have their vehicles that we allow them to home garage. And so the parts availability is not a problem. the technicians, getting them closer to the customer site if something occurs in the middle of the night, whether it be a disaster or whether it be just under normal circumstances. That's what our goal is to get somebody there fast and ready to go, knowledgeable, well-trained, and have the parts that they're going to need.
Gary, how do you see Hiscall? What kind of company are you?
All of us at Hiscall have a caring philosophy to take care of that customer. We actually go a little bit more than that. We tend to, when our customers, we get to know them so well. When there's birth, we try to send gifts. When they're mourning, we're mourning with them. When they're happy, we're trying, be happy with them. That's a little out of the norm for today's business, to try to show that much caring, but that's truly, genuinely how we feel. Kind of an extended family, if you will. As far as the business setting goes, we know that the communications that they have is critical to their business. It doesn't matter if it's a surgical clinic, a hospital, a bank, manufacturing plant, or it could be a local pizza parlor, because all of them have the same thing in common, and that's to be able to communicate with their customers and provide their customers or their clients or their patients with proper communications, whether it be through telephone, whether it be through a variety of means, texting or emailing or whatever be the case. It's critical, and those are the type of customers that we try to go after, the ones that really do believe that their communications, not that they just say it, but they really mean it, that it's serious for them.
So Chuck, do you see yourselves as primarily a consulting company that's helping to keep your customers up on the cutting edge of technology? I mean, my gosh, technology is changing so fast, especially in communications. I would think companies feel like, they're losing ground.
Absolutely. We approach it as consultants to talk with our customers, to uncover their business needs, look at ways that they may be communicating differently or have a need to communicate differently than they may have 10 or 12 years ago when they first bought their phone system or communications network.
So although you sometimes advocate that customers change from what they've been currently doing, I would assume the ROI is well worth it.
Always have. We can show that now. Maybe not be able to. So the reason that we have the expertise we have and the years of ability, we go back many years to be able to help our customers even into their old system. They can.
How has Hiscall been so successful when so many companies have not been, Gary?
The true answer to that, honestly, is by the grace of God. We try to adhere to a biblical standard that's real simple. It's the golden rule. Treat people like you want to be treated. Now, I know that that's not going to always be the case. So sometimes that happens. You go out, you take care of needs, and you don't get treated back that way, but that's what we try to do. And in doing that, we just always try to do the right thing. We're human beings, we might mess up somewhere, but we always try to correct any mistake that we may ever make. But I do believe that's a big part of our success. I really do. That's first and foremost. But second to that is the sense of urgency that everyone has there at the company. I invite people to come in all the time, and when customers do come to see us at either our office in Dixon, Tennessee, which is close to Nashville, or Knoxville, Tennessee, they feel that. They talk to our staff, they feel and see the responsiveness. I've actually invited customers to come in and say, we know we're not perfect, but we try real hard, and they're welcome to go in and sit down with our manager of dispatch services, and I've let them just pick up a letter in the alphabet, look on their system, give them a phone number, go call this customer, and let our customers tell the story about how they feel about doing business with us.
Gary, what does the future look like for Hiscall and for the telecommunications industry as a whole?
Jackie, that is a great question that God only knows the answer to the future, of course, but I can tell you that we try our best to stay on the latest and greatest of technology. I let our customers know that we're going to be on that bleeding edge so we can keep you on the cutting edge. In other words, we're not going to let you get hurt. We'll try ourselves first. So in our facility, we will bring in some of the latest equipment, test it, lab test it. We will design and build it and put it through a staging process to make sure before we go out on site. That's our goal, is to make sure that before we arrive, we'll go through a staging process, make sure everything is right, because we don't want to do anything as a beta site for a customer. We will do that ourselves, and I think that is also attributed to a lot of our success, is that we do try our best to go above and beyond to those needs. I've had customers before to say, well, what assurance will I have if I want this latest product, and I have actually done this on more than one occasion. If they've got an opening time of their business, or maybe they're doing adding another facility or whatever, and they've bought this new system, I said, look, I'll make sure that you have communications. If I have to put something in your building that we know is working and reliable and ready to go, and then come back and change it out to the latest at our expense, I'll make sure that you don't lose any phone calls and that you don't lose any connectivity to the world.
Wow. Well, it sounds like Hiscall's technology and solutions can really make a difference in business communication. So I'd like to thank you both, Gary and Chuck, for sharing the ideas with us.
Thank you, Jackie, for having us.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. For 21st Century Business, I'm Jackie Bales.